Alright, you guys, now let's move on to the speaking section, festivals. Here we have 1.3 real-time speaking, local festivals, and we're going to start our lesson with a warm-up exercise. Exercise A, activating ideas. So tell your partner about 5 special days in the year in your country. So this is obviously going to be totally up to students because everyone's from a different country. So name 5 special days or occasions and talk a little bit about them, right? Just as a quick warm-up. Now, let's move to exercise B here. We have studying a model. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be listening to a conversation, and as we go, we're going to be writing down the questions. Okay? Complete A's questions. So person number A has a lot of questions missing, and we're going to be writing them down as we go. Let me open this. And let's have a listen.
Track 1.8.
Are there any traditional festivals in your country?
Yes, we have one in the summer. It's called Noc Świętojańska in Polish. I like it a lot.
Sorry, did you say Noc?
Yes, it means night, St. John's Night. We celebrate the longest day of the year and the shortest night. It's on the 23rd of June.
We celebrate that in my country too. What do you do exactly?
Well, people dress in colourful traditional clothes. There is music, dancing and fireworks. The young women make wreaths of flowers with candles on them.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
If a woman is single, she makes a wreath, a ring of flowers. Then she puts the flowers on a lake or river. When a young man finds it, he falls in love with the girl. That's the tradition.
Ah, okay. Do the men give flowers to the girls?
No, they don't. In some places, they make a fire and jump over it.
Why do they do that?
Because it shows that they are strong and brave.
How do you prepare for the celebration?
We make the food during the day too. The men prepare the music and the lights outside.
When does it start?
It starts at about 8 p.m. We dance and talk and eat. The party continues all night. It doesn't stop until sunrise.
Sunrise? Does everybody work the next day?
Yes, they do, but they're very tired.
Alright, so I had to stop because they were moving way too fast. I couldn't keep up, so we're actually going to be playing it again, but I'll be pausing it as we go so we can continue answering the questions, or basically writing the questions down.
Track 1.8.
Are there any traditional festivals in your country?
Yes, we have one in the summer. It's called Noc Świętojańska in Polish. I like it a lot.
Sorry, did you say Noc?
Yes, it means night, St. John's Night. We celebrate the longest day of the year and the shortest night. It's on the 23rd of June.
We celebrate that in my country too. What do you do exactly?
What do you do exactly? So we celebrate that in my country too, and we'll write down what do you do exactly? Right, you guys? Let's keep going.
Well, people dress in colourful traditional clothes. There is music, dancing and fireworks. The young women make wreaths of flowers with candles on them.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Sorry, could you repeat that? So we'll write down, sorry, could you repeat that? Okay?
If a woman is single, she makes a wreath, a ring of flowers. Then she puts the flowers on a lake or river. When a young man finds it, he falls in love with the girl. That's the tradition.
Ah, okay. Do the men give flowers to the girls?
Okay. Do the men give flowers to the girls? So, do the men give flowers to the girls? Okay, let's move on.
No, they don't. In some places, they make a fire and jump over it.
Why do they do that?
Why do they do that? As in, why do they start a fire? So, why do they do that? Let me write that A down. Why do they do that?
Because it shows that they are strong and brave.
How do you prepare for the celebration?
How do you prepare for the celebration? So, how do you prepare for the celebration? Let's keep going.
We make the food during the day too. The men prepare the music and the lights outside.
When does it start?
When does it start? So, when does it start?
It starts at about 8 p.m. We dance and talk and eat. The party continues all night. It doesn't stop until sunrise.
Sunrise. Does everybody work the next day?
Yes, they do, but they're very tired.
Okay, so the last question was sunrise. Does everybody work the next day? So we'll write that down. So sunrise, as in confused, how? Sunrise, does everybody, what was it? Everybody work the next day? Question mark? Yes, they do. But they're very tired, which makes sense. Okay, so that was the conversation. Now let's move forward. So here we have exercise C, practicing a model. So listen to the conversation again. What do you notice about the intonation of the questions? So basically, you guys, when I'm talking about an intonation, it's how the questions sound. Because, for example, here, what we just did when we talked about, sunrise, you see how I use that intonation, that sound? So I didn't say sunrise, I said, or she said sunrise, or sunrise, as in she's confused, like how? People stay up till sunrise? Did they go to work the next day? So that's the intonation of the question, okay? So I'm going to play it one more time, okay? But I want you guys to now focus on the intonation only of the questions, okay? I'm pretty sure you have the questions written down right now. So take a look at the questions and keep the intonation in your mind, okay? Here we go.
Track 1.8.
Are there any traditional festivals in your country?
Yes, we have one in the summer. It's called Noc Świętojańska in Polish. I like it a lot.
Sorry, did you say knots?
Yes, it means night, St. John's Night. We celebrate the longest day of the year and the shortest night. It's on the 23rd of June.
We celebrate that in my country too. What do you do exactly?
Well, people dress in colourful traditional clothes. There is music, dancing and fireworks. The young women make wreaths of flowers with candles on them.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
If a woman is single, she makes a wreath, a ring of flowers. Then she puts the flowers on a lake or river. When a young man finds it, he falls in love with the girl. That's the tradition.
Ah, okay. Do the men give flowers to the girls?
No, they don't. In some places, they make a fire and jump over it.
Why do they do that?
Because it shows that they are strong and brave.
How do you prepare for the celebration?
We make the food during the day too. The men prepare the music and the lights outside.
When does it start?
It starts at about 8 p.m. We dance and talk and eat. The party continues all night. It doesn't stop until sunrise.
Sunrise. Does everybody work the next day?
Yes, they do, but they're very tired.
Alright, so I hope you're able to get the intonation of the questions down and figure out what exactly, because a question can have different meanings depending on how you not pronounce it, basically how you use different intonation for asking said question, right? And like I said, I've said this to many people before, the stress and intonation are what make up how people will look at you. So people can think you're having fun when asking a question. People can think you're really serious when, all based on your intonation and stress. Okay? So, what else do we have? Here we have role play the conversation in pairs. We're going to skip that for now because we have a really similar exercise in a couple minutes. And talk with your partner about a festival in your region or country. So this is something that you can do. Talk to yourself, basically like in a recording, or if you have a friend nearby, right, about a festival in your region or country. So based on, you can just talk a little bit, have a simple conversation similar to the one here, and just talk. We want to improve our speaking and pronunciation. And one of the best ways to do that is to actually talk, right? That's how you get better. You do the thing and practice. So talk and try your best to collect your thoughts, okay? So here we have the vocabulary box, and we know what to do when the vocabulary box comes up. We write the spelling down, and then we try our best to get the best pronunciation possible for the words. So here we have brave, colorful, fall in love, flower, national day, tradition, wreath. Okay? So now we have exercise D, developing critical thinking, and this can actually feel weird in this section. So why are traditional festivals important to people? So you gotta think, why are festivals, or basically just any topic in general, you gotta have that deep thinking of why is said thing important? Why am I studying this? Why are festivals important to people? That's the question here. So obviously, answer will depend on you as a student, but I have a couple of my own. So I think traditional festivals are important to people because, they celebrate and make social groups stronger. That may be one of the reasons. It's also an opportunity to meet others and to socialize, right? So that's also, something that people can look forward to. And, what else can people do? They can provide fun, right? And relaxation. An enjoyable event that people can actually look forward to, okay? Or it can simply be simply a way of passing a tradition to the younger generation. That's also not the best way of thinking of festivals, but it's true nonetheless. Okay? So that was exercise D. Now let's move on to the next page. Okay, so here we have, what are these are 6 different pictures displaying people with different emotions and, having very different feelings right now. So this is not the same as this, by the way. So yeah. So activating ideas. Just taking a look before we answer anything, you guys. How does each person look? So what do you guys think this guy, how does he look? What do you think? If you see a person like that on the street, what would you think? That's correct. He looks stressed, right? He looks someone that's stressed. He has, a lot on his mind. He might not show it, but it's definitely, he's not smiling either. So yeah. And number 2, obviously crying. So she's sad, right? She's really sad. And then you have this young dude right here. So he's probably sleepy. Yeah, sleepy or tired. Sleepy or tired. Didn't get enough sleep last night. And then you have this guy right here that looks like he just failed his exam or something. So he's probably frustrated is the word that I'm looking for. So frustrated. And here we have happy. As you can see, having a birthday party. So obviously very happy. And here she's also happy. That's what I think, at least. She's, happy, having fun, laughing. Yeah. So why does each person look this way? So this is going to be entirely up to you as a student. Why do you think, this man can be, why is he stressed out, right? There are a million different reasons why people, get stressed out. And we might actually find the answers in exercise B. But for now, I want you to kind of dive into your own mind and think to, why is this person stressed? I mean, why is she crying? Why is she sad? Why is he sleepy? Why is he frustrated? And why are these two happy? Right? So Now, let's go to exercise B, studying models. So 1.9, listen and match each phrase with one of the conversations. So let me actually open this so you guys get a better view. So here we have one phrase in the beginning of every conversation, but it might not exactly fit, right? So if I say, I passed my test, oh thanks, and here's a card, it doesn't really make much sense. So, hi there, happy birthday, yes, I've got an important exam to see. So the phrases don't really correlate with the conversation. So we're going to actually be hearing these conversations, and as we go, we're going to be correcting them. Okay? So here you go. Have a listen.
Track 1.9.
Conversation 1.
What's wrong?
Oh, I didn't get the job.
Bad luck. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Conversation 2.
Hi there. Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
And here's a card.
It's really nice of you. Thank you.
Conversation 3.
What's the matter? Has something happened?
Yes, my grandmother has died.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thanks. We were really close. Conversation 4.
Are you tired?
Yes, I am. We've just had a new baby.
Congratulations! Is it a girl or boy?
A boy.
Conversation 5.
You look a bit stressed.
Yes, I've got an important exam tomorrow.
Well, good luck. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I hope so.
Conversation 6.
I passed my test.
Sorry? Which test?
My driving test.
Well done! That's great!
Alright, so these were the conversations. Now, let's move on. What do we have here? We have exercise C, practicing a model. So, yeah, this is the exercise that I was going to talk to you guys about. So, work in pairs, right? And role play different conversations for these situations. So, one of you got 78% for the last assignment. One of you is 21 today, has decided to get married. You have, a lot of different topics. What I want you guys to do is role play, right? So talk to each other. Like we said, practice makes perfect. So the only way to get your pronunciation and speaking better is to actually start talking to people. So in this case, you can role play with your friends and start talking about these different topics. Okay, you guys? Now let's move on to the next page. Alright, you guys, so let's start with pronunciation check 1. Here we have saying consonants T and D. So we want to differentiate or be able to differentiate between the letter T and D because there are a lot of words that are really similar that can sound very confusing if you don't get this or these two consonants out of the way. So the sound D is always voiced. It is always spelled D or double D. So for example, do, tradition, find, address. Okay, these are some of the examples of the consonant D. Okay, now the sound T is always unvoiced. It is always spelt with T or double T again. So for example, town, meeting, separate, better, right? So both sounds are made by touching the top of the tongue against the roof of the mouth. That is if you're using the British accent, okay? But this is a really important part, so you don't want to confuse T and D with that th sound and that sound, right? So let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. So for example, here we have the word tin, right? Simple word. You don't want to confuse tin for thin. These are two completely different words, and when we have a TH, we either pronounce it as th or as the. Okay, so either thin or this. Okay, so tin, this. You don't want to say this here. You want to say this. Although, some people pronounce it this when they're speaking quickly, but for the most part, you'll know what they're saying depending on the sentence. Okay, so you don't want to confuse tin for thin, or basically the T for the TH, and the D for the other TH pronunciation. Okay? So here we have consonants. So circle one word in each pair below. Say the words that you circled. Okay, so we don't really have an audio here to tick the words we hear. So what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna be pronouncing all of them. Okay, and just basically I'll be your audio, and just so we can differentiate and don't make the mistakes of between the T and the D, and to differentiate between the T, TH, and D and TH again. Okay, so A, try and dry. See the difference? Try and dry. Okay, 3, tree. 3, tree. You see the difference? You got to get your ears used to the different sounds, because a lot of people, when you say tree, they'll be like, oh, the number? No, that is a tree. This is 3. Okay? And then we have write and ride. Write, ride. Write, ride. Tie, die. Tie, die. Okay? And then we have sight, side. Sight, side. Both, boat. You don't want to confuse this. Again, two completely different words. Both, boat. Den, then. Den, then. Den, then. Cart, card. Cart, card. Okay? So these are words. I suggest you take kind of a couple minutes to just kind of differentiate between the T and the D and the two THs, the th and the d. Okay? Or not the. Okay? So now let's move on to B, or pronunciation check 2, saying the vowels. And here we have 2 vowel sounds. So the sound is short. When the letter U is stressed, it often makes the sound right? So for example, luck, that sound. So luck, sun, okay? Just and but, okay? Now the sound U is long. The letters U, and U often make the sound U. So for example, you have new, flew, blue, true, food, and two. Okay? So all of these words have that U sound. Okay? And other common words with the sound U are you, who, and do. Okay? So basically the difference is between the sound that has a U in it, but when it's stressed. Okay? So only when it's stressed does it make that A sound, so, or sound. Okay? Now when the sound is U is long, it makes just a simple U sound. So for example, new, flew, blue, true, food, and two. Okay? Now let's go to exercise B here. We have already read the pronunciation check. Now let's mark these words. So according to each one, is it or U? Okay? So first one is clue. Clue. What do you guys think? Clue has that oo sound, right? So U. Then we have cool. Cool. Again, that U sound. Come. So come has that A sound. And then we have two. Two has that U sound. Okay? And then we have few, again, U. Useful, again, U. Rude, U, again, rude. And then we have run, run, okay? So that A sound. And then we have color, color. I don't say color, I say color. So A. And finally we have cut. Get rid of the C and T. Again, cut. Okay, so that A sound. Okay, you guys? So now let's listen and check the words here. Check your pronunciation.
Track 1.10.
A. Club. B. Cool. C. Come. D. Two. E.
few. F. Useful. G. Rude. H. Run. I. Colour. J. Cut.
Okay, so it seems that there's a glitch in the book because I heard the first one being club and not clue. So clue has that U sound, okay? But if it's club, it has that sound and not U. So depending on your book, if it has club, then just put that A instead of U. But if it's clue like me, then just use U, okay? So now that we got that out of the way, let's move on. What else do we have? So here we have the vocab box. You guys know the drill. I'll just say these quickly. Pause it and check your answer, or not check your answers. Do the spelling, okay, write them down and check your pronunciation, and then let's move on. So, cake, cousin, delicious, leader, married, origin. Okay? Now, let's move on. Here we have exercise C, read skills check 1. How can you show interest? Okay. So let's go to skills check 1 here. Here we have showing understanding. Okay, so when a person gives us some new information, or simply, we're casually having a conversation, we must show that we understand, right? How else would you be interacting if you don't show that you understand? We can do this by echoing important words. So I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. But we often add a question or a simple comment, right? So for example, if speaker A is talking and he says, originally it was in September, not July, right? If I want to show interest as a listener, this is what I say. I can say, these are important words. So we have September, that's an important word, and not July, so different time frame. So I'll say, in September, question mark, obviously me asking a question, surprised. Did they change it recently? Okay, so I'm showing interest, but I'm also surprised, okay? So that is how you show someone that you're understanding. Or, a different one here, in September, why did they change that? Okay, so now I'm asking a question, I'm surprised. Why did they change it? Okay? And then we have speaker A again, the children sing a special song, right? For me, if I want to, just add a comment to show that I understood what he's trying to say, I say the children. That's nice. So the children, obviously an important word in that sentence. So the children, that's nice. Okay, so this is just a simple comment showing interest. Okay, you guys? So now, by the way, you got to use your face as well, so not just your voice. You got to use your voice, your intonation, we talked about this, and your face to show the speaker you're interested or simply surprised, or both. Okay, so now let's open exercise C, identifying new skill 1. And here we have listen and tick the reply you hear. Okay, so here we have 3 sentences, okay, with we're gonna be hearing a couple conversations, right? And we're gonna tick the ones we hear. Okay, let's go.
Track 1.11.
My cousin got married last week. Your cousin? Did you go?
I got a present today.
That is not interesting for me.
I'm taking my exam tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Are you going to pass?
Okay, so now we have number 3, which replies above are good. Okay, so for you, someone as, that wants to show that he's understanding, what do you think is a good reply? So my cousin got married last week. Your cousin, did you go, or married, but he's very young. Okay, you see my intonation there? If I would have said, but he's very young, it doesn't make much sense. But if I say, but he's very young, I'm surprised. You're like, how, right? You see that exclamation mark. So intonation is key, you guys. Don't forget that. So obviously both are correct, but the ones we heard were, was your cousin, did you go? Okay, obviously I did not use intonation here. That's why it sounded weird. Then we have B, I got a present today. Then we have, That is not interesting for me. Or a present? That's nice. So I definitely think a present, that's nice, is a little bit better because this is just straight up negative. So yeah, but that's the one we heard. So I'm taking my exam tomorrow. So tomorrow, are you going to pass? Or tomorrow, yesterday was better. This just depends on the individual. So it depends on what you think is good. So answers will be totally, subjective to students. Okay. So now let's move on. Here we have practicing a new skill. So now that we got that new skill in our pockets, so showing that we understand or showing interest, right? We gotta practice our skill somehow, okay? So now we're gonna listen to some sentences about traditional events, and I want you guys to work in pairs, right? And say some of the sentences and give a reply to show that you understand. Right? Show that you understand or show that you're interested. Even if you have to pause the video, it's fine, okay? So we have examples here. We eat delicious cakes at New Year. Cakes, what kind? Or I could also say at New Year. That's interesting. Okay, so both are correct depending because we have two words that are important in the sentence. Okay, so I'll let it play. Here you go.
Track 1.12.
A. We eat delicious cakes at New Year. B. It's my birthday next month. C. In my country, we have spring cleaning. D. In my country, a married woman wears a ring on her right hand.
Okay, so now I'm actually going to play it one more time, and as we go with the sentences, I'll give kind of a brief reply, okay, with our... I hope you already got that, but I'll play it one more time just in case. Okay, here we go.
Track 1.12.
A. We eat delicious cakes at New Year.
Cakes? What kind?
B. It's my birthday next month.
Your birthday? That's nice.
C. In my country, we have spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning? That's interesting.
D. In my country, a married woman wears a ring on her right hand.
A ring? That's nice. Okay, so that is how you show interest or how you're surprised. Okay, so now let's move on. Here we have skills check 2. Let's read that before moving on to exercise E. Asking open questions. So here we have questions called closed questions and open questions. And we can gather information with closed questions, and closed questions come in the form of, are you from France? Or do you come from Japan? Basically, closed questions are questions where you already kind of assume a certain thing about someone, right? And it's not always bad, it's just that open questions are often better, right? When you need kind of a straightforward answer. So for saying an open question, you need a question word, and question words, I hope you guys know what they are. They're what, where, how, when, why, right? And then a question form. So we have some examples here. What nationality are you, right? Where do you come from? Always start with the question word and then a question form. So now identifying a new skill 2, exercise E. How do we make questions with verb to be? And what about other verbs? Okay, so obviously verb to be, we're going to be adding a question word and then we'll use a question form. Okay, now complete the questions about your partner's country with the correct word from the box below. Let me open this so you guys get a better view. Okay, so here we have some of the, or not some, all of the question words, and we're gonna put them in the suitable question. Okay, so A, dash is the origin of the name of your country? Question mark. So for that, I'll probably say a simple what. So what is the origin of the name of your country? Okay, dash, do most people live in the countryside or in the city? And for that, I'll say where, right? It's a place. So where do most people live? In the countryside or in the city? Okay, and then C, do you eat the biggest meal at midday or in the evening? And for that, I'm probably asking about time, so when? When do you eat the biggest meal, at midday or in the evening? Alright, you guys? Then we have D, dash is the leader of your country. I'm talking about someone, so I'm gonna say who. Who is the leader of your country? Then we have E, dash days in the year are holidays. What do you guys think? That's correct. Which? I'm gonna say which. So, which days in the year are holidays? Alright, then we have F, dash days a week do children go to school? Okay, for that I'll say how. How many days a week do children go to school? And finally we have G, dash do people enjoy festivals? And why? A simple why. Why do people enjoy festivals? Alright, now let's move on. Anything else? Yeah, you guys can answer these questions, by the way. If you feel like you want to work in pairs, that's totally fine. And answer the questions again. Alright? Now, let's move on. Let's turn the page. Here we have exercise F. So now we're going to, again, practicing a new skill that we just had. So we're going to be adding a question word and then question form, right? So complete each question to a new friend, right? So let me open it so you guys can get a better view here. Okay, here we have some words and we want to turn them into questions to a new friend, right? So we have born. So what do you guys think? That's right, I can say where were you born, right? And then question mark. Old, obviously I'm talking about age, so I'll say how old are you? Question mark. And then C, live, and that's a simple where do you live? You see, we always have a question word and a question form depending on the word. And father's job, just a simple what. So what's your father's job? Question mark. I forgot the question mark here. Always gotta write the question mark, guys, if it's a question. So what's your father's job? Number of people in your house. So obviously number of people in your house. So we'll say how many people live in your house? Question mark. How many people live in your house? And then we have favorite color. That's a simple question. What is your favorite color? Okay, and I think yeah, I got that right. So what is your favorite color? Okay, now let's go to activities at weekend. I could say what activities, right, do you like to do? And I gotta complete it at the weekend. And then question mark and question mark. And then we have H, favorite subject, secondary school. And secondary school, I'm guessing a friend is older than that, so I'll use past tense. So I'll say what was, because we're talking in the past, you guys, what was your favorite, right, subject at secondary school? Question mark. So what was your favorite subject at secondary school? And then we have I, career plans. This is just a simple what as well. So what are your career plans? Okay. And finally, reason for learning English. Why are you learning English? So for that we'll say, what is your main reason for learning English? Let me write that in capital learning English, okay? So these are the questions, and that's how you do it. A question word, and then you use a question form depending on the word itself and if it's in the past or not, okay? Now let's move on. Here we have exercise G, identifying a new skill. Now let's read skills check 3. Making sentences negative. And what negative means, you guys, is not doing something. So it's the exact opposite of positive. So we make sentences negative with not, okay, with the word not. But sometimes we need an auxiliary. So here we have an example. He is not, or isn't for short, here. Okay, that is a negative sentence. Excuse me. And then we have, we do not or don't make special food. I cannot or can't dance, right? So that is some of the sentences that we can turn negative, and that's how you turn it. You can just use the word not, but sometimes you do need an auxiliary, okay? Now, here we have make negative sentences in the present simple. Say things about yourself with some of the words below. Okay, so here we have some, I would like for you to pause the video actually right now, you know, take out a notebook or notes on your phone or whatever, and start writing some of these, or use some of these words negatively in a sentence, right? So for example, I'm going to start with sports. I could say, I don't like sports, or I do not like sports. Okay? Children. She does not have any children, right? Car. He does not have a car. Okay? I do not buy vegetables, right? And friend. I cannot or can't make friends. That is also a negative sentence. Let's go with assignment, for example. I'll say, I do not do, or do my assignments, right? Okay? I do not have a chocolate bar. All of these are negative sentences. So what I want you to do is just practice writing these sentences down. Obviously, answer will depend on students. So based on your answers, that you do you, bro. Okay. So yeah. And then we have I'll do one more. So tall. He is not tall, right? Or he isn't tall. He isn't married, or she isn't married. Okay? So yeah, you guys, that's how you do some of these words and turn them into negative sentences, okay? Now, let's go to exercise H. Restate each sentence with a model. So we gotta change these into a sentence with can't, shouldn't, mustn't, won't, or couldn't. So let me open this so you guys can get a better view. So we'll use can't, shouldn't, mustn't, won't, couldn't where appropriate. So I am not able to see you at the weekend. Obviously this is wrong. I cannot say I am not able. I am not able to see you at the weekend. I don't want to say it like that. So I'll say I wrote that in a different place. I can't or cannot see you, and we'll just write it as can't. I can't see you at the weekend. Okay? So that's simple sentence. And I forgot the E. Wow. I can't see you at the weekend. It is against the law to drive over 70 miles per hour in the UK. Okay, so obviously this is something that's against the law, so I'll say you mustn't, okay, you mustn't drive over 70 mph, miles per hour, in the UK. Okay? Number 3, my sister eats too much. How would I say it? I could say my sister should eat less, right? I'll use the word less. Or I can also say, my sister shouldn't eat too much. So since we got to use a word from here, I'll probably just say, my sister. I wrote it as nigh. Are you serious? So, my sister, okay, shouldn't eat too much. Or, my sister shouldn't eat so much, not too much. Okay, so correct that as so much. My sister shouldn't eat so much. And then we have number 4. I promise not to tell your teacher. I can say, do I have won't here? Yeah, I have. So I'll say, for I promise not to tell your teacher, I'll say I won't tell your teacher. Or I promise I won't tell your teacher. Both are correct. So I'll write down, I promise I won't tell your teacher. Okay? Then we have number 5. The children were too short to reach the sweets. Okay, do we have couldn't here? Yeah, we do. Couldn't. So number 5, the children were too short to reach the sweets. I'll say the children couldn't reach, right? Couldn't reach the sweets. Okay, you guys? Couldn't reach the sweets. And then we have number 6. We are not able to come to the phone right now. So, I have cans, right? Yeah, I do. I have cans. We are not able to come to the phone right now. I could say, we can't come to the phone right now. Then full stop. And then we have, don't miss any lectures. So obviously don't miss any lectures. I'm probably giving someone advice or something. So I'll say, you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't miss any lectures. Okay? You shouldn't miss any lectures. And then finally we have number 8. Don't speak in the library. Obviously this is similar to breaking the law with the whole speeding thing. So it's the rules that you don't speak in the library. So you mustn't, okay, speak in the library. Full stop. Okay? So you mustn't speak in the library. Okay, you guys? So that was exercise H, practicing a new skill. And yeah, I think that is it. That was section 2, speaking, you guys, festivals. And I'll see you in the next one.